All right, welcome to Smokey Approved Career. I'm your boy Jurnalist, and on this one, we are here to do some more Bora City Magazine videos. Shout out to Bora for her videos. We do really appreciate her putting these together. And I seen this one, and I was like, I might as well just do it. Let's find out what some unpopular opinions are, because you know me, I keep it quite respectful, trying to stay out of the way, because you know karma is an army, and I'm not trying to get smoked out here. Y'all people don't play about these boys. So, yeah, we're just kind of we're just trying to have a good time, check these out, learn some stuff, and yeah, it's pretty much have a good time. That's it. Thank you guys very much for joining me. If you could, please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description, and let's get into this. Let's see what we got.
So I've noticed that a lot of people love watching unpopular opinions content.
Me, just me.
I see these videos on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. So I've decided to make my own unpopular opinions video, BTS edition. However, this may be disappointing to some because I genuinely don't hate BTS or any of their work. They are my favorite group, my favorite artists, and I will not throw them under the bus. And for many, the most entertaining part of these kind of videos is the controversial part. It's not just about opinions that are not so popular. It's about the drama, what you hate, and what is going to infuriate people. So in that sense, this video is going to be boring.
I would say I'm not here for the slander, and I believe because of Bora's content, she wouldn't be slanderous. But I am here for honest opinions. So if we do any more of these, I'm not going to be watching any videos that are salacious or like throwing mud. I don't have time for that shit. I'm already a messy individual enough. I just want to hear like how I'm honest with my music reactions. Somebody just being honest about a song they may not like or something that they've seen. And it's just how I get on the fashion or something. That's what we're here for. If it's anything else, after Bora's videos, I'm sorry, man. I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm not here for that. I don't have time, and it's frivolous because like there's some real messy shit on the internet we could be watching.
On the other hand, there are always a couple of fans who take other people's personal preferences as an insult to the artist. But we cannot all have the exact same opinions, and ranking songs or performances based on my personal preferences shouldn't be controversial. Yes, I do think some performances are better than others. I do have genres that I like more than other genres. And if you don't like hearing that your favorite song is not my favorite, then this video is not for you. With that said, these are 10 unpopular opinions I have about BTS. Number 10.
Let's go.
BTS did invent the ending fairy trend. I've said it before and I stand by what I've said. The ending fairy, or that one last shot in a K-pop performance, was not created by BTS, but nobody cared about it. And before someone tells me to know my K-pop history, I know that other idols had semi-viral moments with their ending fairies. But those moments did not create a noticeable pattern or trend. Those moments did not create a clear before and after in K-pop performances. After those idols had their supposed viral moments, K-pop shows continued prioritizing the full group shots instead of the one member shot. So the trend did not start with them. However, for the ones who get upset with the phrase BTS paved the way, you can celebrate this one. Those idols paved the way for the trend of ending fairies. Thanks to them, some K-pop TV shows started shooting ending fairies, at least from time to time. Thanks to them, BTS had the chance to do an ending fairy in certain occasion.
Why is everybody out of fucking breath? What's this? Well, I guess it's the end of performance, my dumbass. All right, but still, like, what the word is the fairy? Like, why is it called a fairy? Is it supposed to be like a fairy tale or like the end of the story? So like it's a fairy. I don't get it because why is it called what it is called? I answered my own dumbass question. Why is everybody huffing and puffing? They was just dancing, dumbass. That's why they're huffing and puffing. But why is it called a fairy?
And eventually make fun of it. But the trend, as we know it now, became an actual thing because BTS pointed it out and made fun of it. Now the ending fairies are a requirement in K-pop shows. Now ending fairies last multiple seconds, are applied to multiple members, and sometimes there are animations that make it obvious that the group is doing an ending fairy. Now every K-pop group does it in every K-pop show. Again, this may just be my personal perception, but that's
I appreciate the ending fairy as a shot. It's a cute little shot. It works. It intensifies the moment. I really like that. We start doing all the graphics and all that shit. We just kind of kill the magic. It's just like we know what we're getting. It's just like, Fuck it. Stop doing that shit. Do something else now.
That's why I consider it an opinion. Number 9. The response to Jungkook's drummer shows a sad and even hypocritical side about the fandom. Some context for the ones who have no idea what I'm talking about.
Thank you, boy. Thank you.
Jungkook performed at the Global Citizen Festival 2023, and the band that performed with him had a drummer who got many people's attention. The drummer took his shirt off and played very intensely, even in calmer songs like in Euphoria. So ARMYs, part of the audience and online, made so many jokes. People said that it was cringe that he took his shirt off, that he didn't need to do all that for the calmer songs, or that they needed a trigger warning before watching him. And my response to this is, well, BTS didn't have to recreate the Late Late Show in South Korea. They didn't have to perform in an airplane or perform full actual good songs for a car and a chicken commercial. These can be seen as unnecessary or over the top. But that's what passionate, dedicated artists do. I know most people are joking, and these were not intended to be harmful comments, and I have no idea who this man is. My opinion is not necessarily about him. My point has to do more with the response to raw, passionate talent that can be perceived as weird for some. When I watched his performance with Jungkook, I was not surprised or taken aback. I just thought, this is a cool band. I don't think the band was a distraction or that they took away from Jungkook's performance. What did surprise me were the TikTok after TikTok making fun of this drummer. I was recently reminded of this situation because I saw this drummer again at another festival and I recognized him as Jungkook's drummer. So I confirmed my opinion that going all out is not a bad thing. BTS does it all the time, and I hope that every ARMY knows.
I just got to chime in with this little piece. Jungkook hired that nigga. And when you hire a drummer, especially a nigga that has a style like that, we paid him good goddamn money to do that shit. Y'all are not respecting me wanting to have that level of a drummer. And somebody who my performances are enhanced by having a better drummer, I would assume that Jungkook feels similar to how I do, where having a drummer that plays with that much passion or that much craze makes staying in time so much easier, because I know I'm really gonna hear that nigga. And then also when he's playing like that, it gives an energy to the performance and to the performer that like I must meet, or I don't have to really worry about the low moments. It makes it so much easier. But the whole point of everything I'm saying is they rehearsed with that nigga. He didn't just hop on stage that day, get on a drum, and that's the first time he ever played Cut Song. He played that song with that boy multiple times. Jungkook knew exactly what that nigga would be doing, shirt on, shirt off, and told them niggas run that. How are we upset then? Did you forget who you was there to watch? Because if he said that nigga could be on stage because he's doing a performance with them, then what are we saying? What do we have to discuss if it's that nigga shit? I don't get it. I don't. But that's just me. That's me. I feel like you see somebody do some shit like that on stage, you should be happy you have somebody willing to back our boy shit like that. Because I promise you, I done played with some drummers. That nigga shouldn't even been on stage. No.
That just because the BTS members are fit and pretty, that they are the only ones who can go crazy with their performances. Number 8. Permission to Dance is one of their most iconic looks. I don't think people hate the PTD looks, but I don't think it's anyone's favorite. So my unpopular opinion is that this look is one of their most iconic ones. I like the highlighter hair. And I like the emo cowboy look. It's fun, it's new, and it looks good. I believe that it perfectly represents how fun the song is. Especially at the time, I missed the very unique looks. Before PTD, there was Dynamite, B, Butter, and My Universe. And there were some members with pink or yellow hair here and there. But at this point during the pandemic, I missed the very experimental looks with very strong colors that are not just pastel colors. So I received the looks of Permission to Dance with open arms, and I always recall this era as one of their most iconic looks. Number 7. I prefer the full album releases rather than the trilogies. This is an opinion I've had before becoming ARMY. I've always been used to listening to full studio albums with approximately 12 to 20 songs. This means that the artist will take a minimum of 2 years between each album. This can be a sacrifice in the K-pop industry, but I think the result is always worth it. Full studio albums usually have more thought put into them. Conceptually, I believe they make more sense than dividing the story in 2 or 3 pieces because the general public doesn't listen to music like that. This also makes it easier for new audiences to not get tired of the same 5 songs and move on. With full studio albums, the audience has time to process the project and they have a higher chance of liking at least a couple of songs. Also, full studio albums just tend to do better with music critics, which doesn't always matter, but it's definitely a plus. I understand why trilogies or multi-part albums work in the K-pop industry. Because of oversaturation, there are so many groups releasing singles non-stop. So to stay relevant, the ones who can release 2 or 3 EPs in 1 year. If you don't, the audience will forget about you and move on to the next group. But I believe that artistically, the most complete and meaningful projects, including the ones of BTS, are the full studio albums. And at this point, it's undeniable that BTS has the privilege to release music exclusively like this. I know that ARMYs may not like waiting for BTS every 2 or 3 years, but I believe this will give BTS more chances to complete the dreams that are not always in ARMY's hands. Yes, the singles do very well, but I'm thinking bigger, and this is album nominations, not just song or music video nominations. However, whatever they decide to do in 2025 and beyond, it's their decision and I will support it no matter what. Number 6, Dynamite.
Before we get to 6, because I'm still new to this and I'm not really getting, I'm stepping into a trilogy era. I don't particularly know. I'm just listening to the albums. But I will have to say that I do agree with her saying that having the ability or the focus to make a full studio album versus a trilogy just lends better to the art form of music as a whole, not even just inside the K-pop arena where they do the trilogy thing, but even like look at Lil Wayne's Mike went out. Look at Lil Wayne's Carter series. We're like 5 or 6 at this point, but it's like the first 3, Johnson was cold, but like number 1 wasn't as cold. It's 2, and 2 is a little less than 3, but like after that, 4 and 5, they got a couple songs here and there, but like they're not constructed in the way or with the focus that 1, 2, and 3 and them as solo albums where they were focused on for like 2 to 3 years or 5 years for Carter 3, where an artist really has the time to focus in on their music and the vision that they're trying to bring with the music. I just feel like they provide stronger projects, like Boris saying. But that's the point of what we do in the American music industry, because there's not a lot of folks that get away with trilogies. Like I can't think of a lot of trilogy albums in America that have done well or that exist at all, because like people get into the 3rd album on the same topic. You guys know Yo Gotti? People know Yo Gotti, but he's got Cocaine Music. After 3 is like it was no good. But honestly, I don't like any of them besides Cocaine Music 3. The rest of them are whatever. But Cocaine Music 3, oh my God, that was a heater. I was a heater.
It's their decision and I will support it no matter what. Number 6, Dynamite was the right choice for the soundtrack of Bridgerton. Recently, the Netflix show Bridgerton used an orchestral version of Dynamite in one of their episodes, and the ARMY response was, why did they use Dynamite when Black Swan exists? This comment is in every Dynamite Bridgerton TikTok I've seen. This is because we all know that Black Swan has a beautiful orchestral instrumental. And I know most ARMYs are just joking, but I've seen others that are genuinely mad at this bad decision. And I'm kind of tired of seeing these kinds of comments because that is not the point of the Bridgerton soundtrack. Bridgerton purposefully uses mainstream pop songs and transforms them into an instrumental that would fit in the show. They purposefully use songs that the general public will definitely recognize. And we all know that Dynamite is way more popular than Black Swan. I agree that Black Swan would fit way better, but Dynamite is more recognizable by non-fans. So Dynamite is the right choice.
Dynamite is also the right choice because we're making songs for people to dance to at a party. I would hear Black Swan at a opera event, an orchestral event where we are going to sit down and watch these people play this music live on a stage. Why Dynamite works for this scene, we're dancing. And what is the type of music that would make people dance at this time that Bridgerton is set in? And how they have repurposed Dynamite, that shit work. It sounds like music from that period. Black Swan does as well, but Black Swan sounds like a dress event where we're sitting down. Dynamite is we can actually dance and boogie to this one because man, I don't think man back in the day was really dancing to the super slow shit. I feel like they was going to watch them people play that shit, or at least that's how I'm viewing it, and I assume that's how the people that are doing the music for Bridgerton on these are taking these pop songs and putting them on the show. That's how they're thinking about it because even Wrecking Ball sounds way more danceable as an orchestral piece than I thought it would have been for just a pop record or even that other record because I don't know who next is, but like that song sounds like something else we could dance to at a dinner party where we want to show the happy fun times that we're having in Bridgerton. So yeah, some of these, not the opinions, but like some things people get upset about are just, they're hilarious. Like that's what you really care about.
Number 5. I'm glad Megan Thee Stallion was not able to perform with BTS at the AMAs.
And you know we don't stop. Holla, ain't no, you be like, oh my God.
Please don't twist my words. I'm not glad Megan had an unexpected situation, of course. I was actually happy that she immediately announced that she was fine and that she was excited to perform with BTS in another occasion. It was just that after a long time with no BTS live performances, I wanted this moment for them only. And when it was announced that they will perform alone, I felt happy. They were already performing a joint stage with Coldplay that day, so BTS were not supposed to perform alone at all. But I believe they deserved a solo stage, and I'm thankful that this performance was the one watched by the general public. I actually think that when BTS eventually performed with Megan was way more personal and exciting, because it was at a BTS concert and it was a surprise. So I'm glad we had both the BTS solo stage at the AMAs and the collab stage at the BTS concert. Number 4. I don't always like when BTS has backup dancers.
I can totally agree to this one. Sometimes I'd be like, it's too much, cuz.
Let me specify. I don't mind when BTS has a lot of backup dancers and these dancers are far away in the back doing other dance steps, like in On and Dionysus. Even better, I love when backup dancers are there to complement a choreography, like in Run BTS and this one part in Not Today. And I know that bringing a lot of backup dancers, especially in the last chorus, makes the performance have a bigger ending. This is so effective that BTS made it a trend in K-pop. However, being completely honest, I always prefer when BTS performs alone, just the 7 of them. I understand that in award shows, whether in South Korea or in America, this is almost a requirement to have a big performance. But if I had to choose between Idol with backup dancers and no backup dancers, I prefer no backup dancers. If I had to choose between Butter with backup dancers and no backup dancers, I prefer no backup dancers. The same thing with Mic Drop.
I would say I have to agree with Shorty, and the reason I'm agreeing is because seeing them as a group have to carry the performance without the advent of having backup dancers that make a moment look cooler because you got a bunch of niggas doing it really speaks to the level of performer and artistry that they put into the shit that they're doing, especially coming from a place where most people, when they see them, they're going to be like, they look like a bunch of Ken dolls. Like, them niggas ain't got it like that. But if you really pay attention and you give them niggas 2 seconds a day, like, you be like, God damn, that nigga can dance though. Like, shit. Okay, it's a good performance. So I feel like I like to see them really flex and carry the thing themselves because I know they're so good that with people, you can get away with murder. Like, I got a gang of people with me. Like, it just look and feel cooler. But when it's just the 7 of us and we got to sell it just us, how good are we actually? Pretty damn good, actually. But that's, at least to me, being a performer, those are the moments where I'm just like, yeah, like when you can do it by yourself or just with the niggas that are in the group, it just puts it over the top to me. That's just me.
drop. Yes, mic drop at the 2017 Mamas is legendary and I love this performance, but I still prefer mic drop at SNL with no backup dancers. Number 3. I don't care about photocards.
하나, 둘, 셋. 짠.
I'm happy for every army who likes collecting their photocards. I really am because I also like having collections. But personally, I don't see the need to collect every photocard of every member of every album. I don't trade photocards and I don't have a photocard binder. And I don't think I ever will.
These niggas got what's it called? They got their own Pokemon cards. These days, that shit gonna be worth bare P. If you have a full photo card collection, please drop a comment in the fucking comments, please, because you are doing something that like today seems like hyper fanatical. But like, if you've got a signed, complete edition of all the photo cards of BTS, drop a comment, because Jesus Christ, you're holding something that's just gonna be worth bare P. At least like 5-10K later. Because some Pokemon card collections are just astronomically expensive. This shit's for sure going to be worth some bread.
Can change in the future, but for now, I'm really not interested at all. Actually, I prefer the postcards. These pictures usually have better lighting and composition because they are not selfies. And I know that photocards are supposed to feel more personal, but I don't know, it's just not my favorite thing in an album. Don't get me wrong, I still like guessing which member I got, and I keep a photocard on my wallet. But again, it's the collection and trading part that
I like how she's like, it's not my favorite, but just know I keep that motherfucking thing on me. It's in the wallet. Don't play. I have my opinion, but I'm still part of the thing.
thing I'm not interested in. Number 2. I cannot take the debut performance of Dynamite seriously. It's just so unintentionally funny.
Let's go! 'Cause I'm in this dance tonight.
Why is this an unpopular opinion or a hot take? Because BTS didn't want this performance to be funny. They actually thought that it was going to come out as very cool because the concept sounds cool. A performance that connects Seoul and New York City, where the VMAs take place. I talked about this performance in one of the first videos I ever made about Dynamite live performances, and I ranked it kind of low despite the amount of people who watched and liked this performance. In the behind the scenes video, they explained that they had another venue prepared. This was their first live performance of Dynamite, so it was important. But there was something that made them perform in front of a green screen. And I just cannot with the ones who were in charge of the graphics. I'm probably alone in this one because I don't see a single comment about it. But the green screen is so obvious and not in a good way. Not like
Yeah, like we got better graphics than that, y'all. Like we get love, folks. We can love folks, but let's just be honest. You seen better CGI in a goddamn movie. Don't you think our boys should at least have that level of CGI to recreate a city? Like, you ever seen the Sea Beast before? Just the opening of that movie has better CGI. I didn't even know if he was looking at real water or if that was fake water. What the fuck is that shit? We know that's no city, man. That's not a city behind them, boys. That's a green screen, and we could tell.
like in the music video where it works. It either looks like they're floating, like in a bad video game, or you can see where the green screen ends. And there were so many aggressive zoom-ins and zoom-outs that distracted me. Also, why would they dance in front of a body of water? It's not a big of a deal though. They performed perfectly, they looked amazing, their vocals were on point, the choreography was on point. I just think that if they performed in front of this screen only, I wouldn't even notice. It's just the green screen and the animations what make me laugh a little. Number 1. I don't like the Am I Wrong choreography.
Crazy. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I'm only talking about the choreography because I love the song and I think it deserves to be a promoted B-side. However, I feel like the choreography doesn't make any sense. I'm not a choreographer, I'm not a dancer, and I don't know much about dance. But every time I watch the Am I Wrong live performances, I see a style of choreography that K-pop groups with more than 8 members tend to do. And that is just not my cup of tea. What I mean is that there's one member singing, a couple of members behind the singer doing a very small dance step, and the rest is just standing there, creating some kind of formation. There's also a lot of walking around and non-dance steps, and I just don't like this vibe in general. I'm thankful though that this is the only BTS choreography that is like this. And don't get me wrong, I like the simple choreographies in which they just have fun, but those choreographies look like they flow, they make sense. There are still some fun moments in the Am I Wrong performances, but in general, this choreography is probably my least favorite one. So that said, I have more unpopular opinions, but I want to read yours and maybe make a video responding to your unpopular opinions. You have to be an ARMY though, because I will not even bother with the BTS hate comments. You can go to the K-pop channels for that.
Facts. You hit him with that sass, girl. Shout out to you, boy. I don't know enough about their choreographies to even say, but that one does kind of look a little funny. That little, the little arm swipes. It doesn't seem like it's gonna cut the snuff when I actually watch it. However, then it was just a little fun one, just to see opinions that obviously I'm in the ARMY thing now, but like I'm so baby ARMY with all the other stuff I have going on in my life that I'm not as deep into the rabbit hole as some folks, and then there's certain opinions I've just never heard about. So like seeing this just gives me like a glimpse into a side of a thing that like I now have more information. So now when I go into other stuff, I'm just better prepared for these moments. That's pretty much how I feel when I watch these videos from Bora. I'm just like, yeah, I done left with an explainer. I know a little bit more than I knew yesterday. That's pretty good. But yeah, thank you very much, Bora, for this. Thank you guys to anybody watches this with me. If you want to put your unpopular opinions in the comments as well, that'd be dope. Let's be nice in the comments though, because you're going to probably see other people's opinions you don't like. Don't be a waste man or a waste girl or a waste person. Let people have their opinion, because like, that's the whole thing here. But like, don't be a dickhead giving your opinion either. Like, that's not necessary. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me. Please do hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description. Let's see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.